Hamilton Tiger Cats have selected Stavros Katsantonis, the defensive back out of UBC.
Oh, here we go! Sure, can we get it here or these guys? Because there's so much more than that. Because they
What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my unique experience as a former drafted player and current CFL player. We'll dive into the CFL draft process and how that shaped my career as a player today. So let's get started. But before we do, hit this video with a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and leave me a comment on who you think is getting drafted #1 overall in this year's CFL draft. Let's get into it. So the CFL draft is an annual event that takes place each year, usually about a week or two after the NFL draft, in about late April to early May. And it consists of all eligible NCAA and U Sport University Canadians. So that's kind of one of the caveats there, that it's only Canadians that are drafted in the CFL draft. There are a few Americans that could have the possibility of being drafted. It just depends on if they've spent 3 years or more at a Canadian institution and graduated from there. So that's one of the ways where an American can qualify as a national. So if you're an American watching this and you're thinking about, hey, I want to play in the CFL one day, possibly, could be an option for you there, coming up to Canada, playing at a Canadian university, going there for 3 years and getting your degree, qualify as a Canadian. It's huge. So make sure to look into that. The draft itself consists of about 72 picks, obviously a lot smaller than the NFL draft, but that's mainly because there is a smaller pool to pull from in terms of Canadians are the only guys that are being drafted. So a lot smaller pool than the NFL, but nevertheless, 72 players get to fulfill their dreams of being pro athletes. It's really a defining moment for any aspiring player that's looking to play at the next level, and it's a crucial point of their career. Getting picked, being able to have the opportunity to make a CFL roster is a huge deal. In terms of watching the draft in Canada, obviously everyone can watch it on TSN. That's the main media partner of the CFL. In the States, unfortunately, there really isn't a way to immediately watch it. You can get a VPN and then buy the TSN subscription and go about it that way. In years previous, I have actually streamed the draft. I was planning to do it this year for 2023, but I ended up having some scheduling conflicts for next week, and unfortunately I won't be able to. But hopefully in years to come, it's something that I'll be able to do, or hopefully TSN is able to maybe have ESPN Plus stream or something like that. I don't know, but regardless, we're gonna find a way to get it to you guys, because I know there's a ton of Canadian football fans that live in the US, and probably a few guys that are draft eligible that are either training in the US or live in the US part-time. So we're going to find a way soon to fix that for y'all. We'll also throw up right now the draft order of the teams on the screen and see the first round. I believe Ottawa has the first pick. So right now, who do you think they're going to pick? Do you guys think, the scouting bureau is out. Who do we think is going first overall? Stay tuned to the end. I'll give you my first overall pick. But right now, go in the comment section. Let me know who you think is going to get picked first overall by the Redblacks, or what do you think they're going to do with the pick? They could trade it too. There's been a lot of trades. That pick has been traded in years previous, so it is something that can be done too. But let me know who you guys think the Redblacks are going to pick first overall. Now heading into my draft experience, I vaguely remember it. No, I'm kidding. It was obviously one of the not the, but one of the most important days of my life. This one was the most important if wifey's listening or watching. Obviously, that's the most important. But one of the most important days of my life was draft day. It was just a culmination of everything coming together from when I first set out of saying I wanted to be a pro athlete when I was a kid. But regardless of that, the experience on that day was awesome. I had some friends and family there, mainly some immediate family members and 1 or 2 friends. But that was mainly because it was 2020. It was April, few months into COVID. Not a whole lot of social gathering events were happening, so it was one of those things where I just wanted to keep it very small, obviously for safety reasons, and still enjoy it at the same time. So I did stream it that year. I'll leave a little, you can watch that stream up in the top corner of the video. It'll pop up on the screen right now, but I did stream the whole draft back when it was my draft year, mainly because I just wanted to share obviously my experience. I had kind of my camera playing of just what I was doing in my living room at that time, and then my younger brother was actually basically moderating the whole stream, making sure that commercials weren't playing or anything crazy was going on like that, so the video would get taken down on YouTube. But it is up, still up. It was an awesome time. I had so many people that actually tuned into the stream and watched it from the United States, and actually had a few CFL personnel that were watching it and were saying, oh yeah, we live in the States, and we're able to watch it that way, so thank you for that. So that was kind of my draft day. I was picked in the 4th round, 36 overall, by the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and I don't know if this is how they do it for every team, but I actually saw my name before I was actually called by the team, which regardless, I really don't care about that. I was happy that I just got picked. Maybe some of the teams do that. Maybe it was just because I had a delay probably on my streams. That's probably what it was. I don't know. Regardless, it was awesome. I remember getting that call from Coach O, Coach Steinauer, and it was just like everything else in the world that was going wrong was just out of my mind. I was like, man, that was just the perfection of that moment, being able to answer the phone and have that experience of, like, you just see it on TV, right? You see the NFL guys when they get drafted, or anyone that gets drafted in any league, when they pick up that phone and answer the phone, it's like, hey, you ready to be, and for me, it's like, you ready to be a Tie Cat? And it was just like a resounding yes, obviously. So anyone who gets that call, just cherish that moment. Is something you remember for the rest of your life. I think it was awesome for me because in a way, I finally felt like, you know what, I'm officially part of the Canadian Football League. What I didn't realize was, yes, you're a professional football player, but you have to do something every day to be able to maintain that. So training camp was on the way for me. Unfortunately, it got delayed an entire year, obviously because of COVID, canceling the 2020 CFL season. So not very common, but usually training camp started about a week or two after the draft for rookies. But to cap this final segment off, for any draft eligible players, whether it's this year or in future years, I think one of the main things that I could share experience wise is, don't worry about where you're going to get drafted, or even if you get drafted, because a lot of guys sign after the draft that, you know, maybe just were passed over in the draft, or regardless of any of that, it just matters if you get a contract that gets you into training camp. That's going to be the new thing. I mean, in the CFL draft, most of the money is slotted anyway, so regardless, every rookie in the CFL is going to get the minimum, which is 70K Canadian. So it's not going to be crazy life-changing money. And same with the signing bonuses in the 1st and 2nd round, that money is slotted. And same with 3rd and the 4th round, and then, you know, the 5th and 6th and subsequently. So you're not going to get any crazy signing bonus like you see these guys in the NFL get. You may get, you know, couple grand or something like that, and that's up to the team, obviously, and your agent to determine, you know, how much you're going to get signing bonus or extra money wise. But for the most part, you're on a rookie deal, it's cheap, and you got to live with it. So you're going to have to make the team first off before you even see any of that money, and then from there, obviously, stay healthy each week in and week out. You got to maintain. You got to be able to last the whole entire season of an 18-game CFL season plus the playoffs. So any and all that, don't be anxious on draft day. Don't worry if you don't get picked in the 1st round, or if you get picked in the 6th round, or the last pick, or you don't get picked at all. What really matters is getting on a CFL team, getting into training camp, and making the roster at the end of the day. So all that aside, have a great draft day party if you're having one. And, you know, obviously you've all gotten to this moment, so don't fret, don't stress, and just be excited that you're going to be on a team soon, and you'll be in training camp working your tail off, and you won't know Monday from Friday. So that's going to be the main thing. Now moving into my transition from the CFL draft into pro football. Obviously, like I told you guys, I had an extra year in between from when I got drafted to training camp. So usually, like I said, it's about 2 weeks, about 14-ish days until rookie minicamp. And all rookie minicamp really is to, you know, get you used to how CFL practice and training camp is run, get you introduced to the system, so you're able to kind of hit the ground running once main camp starts and all the veterans get there a few days later. For me, there was no rookie minicamp, obviously, with 2021 being the season back from COVID and the canceled season. It was literally just straight into it in July when we started training camp, and it was boom, 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 no preseason games, right into the regular season. So for me, it was, like I said, all about making the team once I got there. All the where you got drafted, where you got picked, or what school you came from if you're an American guy. All that kind of went out the door. It's really how hard can you work? How available are you when it comes to health-wise, right? Because, I mean, day one, guys get hurt. Day two, guys get hurt. It's football, right? It's a contact sport. Everyone knows what we sign up for end of sport. But at the end of the day, also, it is a business. So if you aren't able to practice, play essentially, that is going to put a hamper on you making the team and how the, because everything is being evaluated the whole time in training camp. You're being evaluated from, top of the organization and the GMs, the owners, all the way down to, the equipment staff, the trainers. Everything that you do is being evaluated, and that's what ultimately helps the teams make a decision in cutting down that final roster. So if I could offer any advice, it would be, obviously, number one would be work your tail off every single day in camp. And then number two would be staying healthy and making sure you're taking care of your body the entirety of training camp, because what I've always been told is the best ability is availability. So at the end of the day, do whatever is necessary to take care of your body and make that roster at the end of the day, because if you don't, if you miss a practice or this or that, I've seen countless times where, guys have missed time and it's like literally been like that, and guys are out the door. So I'm not saying if you have an injury, like go out there and play through it, but obviously take the proper precautions to get yourself back out there as quickly as you can. So obviously my journey from the CFL Draft to the pro ranks has been an incredible one, even going into my third season of my rookie contract in 2023. It's all just been, it's had everything. It's had ups and downs, highs and lows, and everything in between. So in all this, just good luck to all the draftees out there. Whether you hear your name called or you don't, like I said, as long as you get on a team and you work your way on the roster, that's all that matters at the end of the day. If you make plays, they will find you. So I hope my story can inspire a few people, and I hope I shared some decent knowledge with you guys heading into next week's CFL Draft, and hopefully future drafts. If you're watching this in 2024, 2025, or the year 3000, it could still be up there. Who knows? Leave this video with a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. With that being said, God bless all you, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.